Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is Mike Brenner. This is the NBA Odds Couple show for Monday, May 2nd. Mike Brenner, we had a good weekend.
Well, about damn time, Pete. I didn't know what the hell was going on with me last week, but yeah, yesterday bounced back very strong, and you've had more than just a good weekend. You're 7-2-1 in your last 10.
And can I plug before you
Please
go over
do.
there, can I plug, because my record there is awful. But
plug them tweets, Pistol Pete.
Do you remember when we first started doing this show, I wasn't even giving picks.
Yeah.
And the reason was because I said I just don't have an edge at this point when we do these shows. But, you know, we do the show, we discuss the factors, and I give picks anyway. But I always said, you know, I can tweet out my picks when I have an edge. And in the NBA second halves, I actually gave two picks. One was a winner, one was a loser. That puts me at 14-4 in the NBA second half.
14-4. Are you kidding me?
2-3 on sides.
Wow.
12-1 on totals.
I got to give you a fist bump on that one, bro.
P.
I love
Loshak, Twitter.
Fantastic. With that being said, I'm going to pan this board because accountability's been everything all year. Finally got back up, and my God, the nightmare's over. And trust me, I'm going to move forward. Went 4-0 yesterday, 151 and 138, 52%. Going to move it up. Pistol Pete again, 7-2-1 in his last 10. So all those doubters, guess what? Quietly getting done during the most important time of the year. 89, 107, 45% going up, and don't forget to check Pistol Pete's tweets. Second halves.
Not only did you go 4-0 yesterday, but you also talked me off of the under in the Golden State game, which would have been a loser. So I appreciate that one, Mike Brenner.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we've done well recently. One of our terrible picks, though,
Oklahoma City
OKC.
Thunder.
So let's start with that game, even though it's a late game. Game 2 here. The Spurs. Look, when the Spurs dominate like that, even against another elite team, is that a surprise? No. We know that the Spurs are an absolute machine.
42 first quarter points, a playoff record for the franchise.
Yeah, and the question is, God, how does OKC adjust?
I don't know.
Can they bounce back? I'll tell you what, Mike Brenner, this is a tricky
But how
one.
many times have you seen Westbrook and Durant score under 20 both in the same game? Doesn't happen too often. They're going to come out firing tonight.
Listen, over the weekend, all those playoff games, I felt like I had a pretty good read on them. We had a good profit record. This one, I mean, my lean would be that OKC somehow finds a way to bounce back and stays within the -8 spread here.
Hell,
but
if they
am I
could
going
just
to
stay within
that?
40,
No.
that would be nice right now.
I might give a second half bet on this one, very possibly, but as far as the full game spreads are concerned, I think it's going to have to be a pass for me. What do you think?
It's going to be a pass for me as
Really?
well.
Yeah.
For real. That rocked me. I did not expect that. I knew Popovich would outcoach Donovan, but not to that degree.
Yeah.
And as Jeff Green said, and also Kawhi Leonard said, we doubt we can continue shooting like that, but our momentum is high. So, wow.
I mean, you said you weren't expecting that, but it's actually not that big of a surprise. I mean, the Spurs are just that awesome of a machine. The program is just amazing.
But the way they did it, and the fact they never took their pedal off the gas, they never took the foot off the gas pedal the whole game. I kept waiting for it to change. I was sitting at a location, at a bar with a guy that does some videos once in a while, and he's got a connection. He's a VIP client with Bet365 and Will Hill. All right,
VIP.
An hour before tip-off, almost 2 hours before tip-off, they froze all the VIP accounts as far as your max was cut down to 5,000. He bets 10 times a game, and they cut it to 5,000. Midway through the second quarter, the live line moved to -21 Oklahoma City. So many people dumped money on OKC, and guess what? Still lost.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true story.
All right,
bro.
so Mike Brenner, if someone handed you a free bet on the spread, it's a free bet. You have to pick one side, and you can only bet the spread. What would you take? Would you take Spurs -7.5 or OKC +8?
I'm not grabbing that bait for nothing, Pistol
No,
Pete.
I mean, this is an official pick for me, but if I had to, I would, if someone gave me a free bet, I would
San
take,
Antonio.
I would take OKC +8.
Wow, okay. Because they got to be pissed. They got to be on fire.
Look, the Spurs were not Golden State this year. They did lose some games.
I know.
It was impressive, but
I don't know. And you might be dead right.
Yeah.
You might be right. And I probably would have went that way if it wasn't such a blowout the other night. But Pete, that thing just absolutely devastated me. And I'm just coming out of my little hurdle there. So,
all right. So let's move on to the other game, Atlanta Cleveland. This is also a tough one. Game 1. Now, obviously, these two teams met in the playoffs last year, and the Cavs just absolutely dominated.
They cranked it up, turned it on, and never stopped.
They swept them. They also covered 3 out of those 4 games, so it wasn't like they were a big favorite one and didn't cover. The first 2 games went under. Second 2 games went over. So this is, again, a tricky one. It reminds me a little bit of the first game against Detroit in this series where the Cavs got the win, but I felt like Detroit was probably the best side, getting that many points.
Sure.
The Cavs, Atlanta has talent.
Yeah,
they can
talent's
hang.
there.
Why would we not take Atlanta plus 7.5?
Well, because, all right, Paul Millsap had 45 points in one of the games against Boston. Guess what? In all the other games, he averaged 10. All right, you can't do that. That's not going to get it done. And Al Horford did not show up. Cleveland is really getting distribution from everybody. Kevin Love is clicking. Kyrie, I'm telling you right now, I love this thing. I'm all over it. I'm taking Cleveland on the half -4, and I grabbed it on the game -7.5 if it's still available.
Well, we can give you 7.
I'm going to take the 7.
Because it's a split line, 7 or 7.5.
Absolutely. It's -4 on the half and the game -7. I think Cleveland is watching what's going on, and I think it's not going to be as dominating, nowhere near as San Antonio. But I think Cleveland just really establishes the rhythm early, and I think Atlanta's going to be having to come from behind the whole game.
I mean, the Hawks just weren't a match for Cleveland last year.
No,
it just
not
feels
at all.
like,
and this year the Hawks aren't the same Hawks, and Kyle Korver he took like 10 steps backwards. So I don't know, Pete. And Damari Carroll's not there in the middle like they had last year. I'm all over it.
And the Cavs are well rested, but maybe there's a teeny bit of complacency, a teeny bit of rust.
I think so. I think that's where LeBron gets them fired up. Oh, by the way, I saw it was a clip. They had a timeout one of the games last week, and he literally pushed Tyronn Lue to the side and ran the whole timeout. It was fucking beautiful. It was beautiful, bro.
Right. So. All right, and then as far as the total is concerned, I would be leaning under. The first 2 games last year went under.
And then the last 2 blew.
It's not the same Atlanta team, but recently they've been better defensively, though.
Yes, they have. They have. And if that is their strength coming into the playoffs for Budenholzer, the coach, it is the defense. But I was even thinking, and I'm not a totals guy, but I was thinking Cleveland team total in the first half because I think they're going to come out on fire.
I think so. All right.
Again.
I'll tell you what, Mike Brenner, I'll give 2 picks on this card. Now, I will give a caveat. First of all, my first caveat, 45% season-wide. So, Second of all, I'm not feeling too confident about these. But because it's playoffs, I'll give picks. I'll tell you what I'm going to give. I'm going to give the under in Atlanta, Cleveland. The market is very uncertain here. 199.5, 200, or 200.5. So I'm going to take the under, 200.5. I will also say that this is the kind of game where I'm feeling like I might have a good, strong second half play on this one. Side or total or both.
Tune in for those tweets.
Yeah, so look out for my second half play. I will give the under 200.5. If it loses, it's okay. I'm not feeling super confident about it, but I like it. And you know what my second pick of this card is going to be?
I think you're going to go the other way.
I'm going to go OKC +8.
Wow! I love the balls. He took it. He just did it. He pulled the trigger.
I'm just thinking.
Pistol Pete, I'm impressed. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. I'm impressed.
8 points. Look, they got Westbrook. They got Durant. They can score. I think that they cover the
I like it. I hope you win that ticket. I really do.
I'm going to take OKC +8 and the under 200.5. I got to admit, I'm also leaning Atlanta +7.5. But you tell us one more time why you. That's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. It's a lot of points. But I mean, I just know last year they got into their heads. This is a different team. Both of them are kind of different, but I just think Cleveland is more focused, and I don't think that extra time off is going to do anything but excite and ignite this team. It's early. It's often. They're coming out, and I love it. Half in the game. I'm sold on it, Pistol Pete. And that's not I have those 2 picks, and I got one other pick.
Okay, let's hear your other pick.
My other pick is a 2-team teaser, and I'm going with it. I'm pulling the trigger. Spurs should be -4.
Yep.
All right. And the Cavaliers -3 or 3.5.
-3.
-3. That's a 2-team ticket casher. My last one cashed very comfortably. Yeah. So, and I'm for the whole season, all right, for the whole season, I'm at 68% on my teasers. So that's profitable. So. Yep. So again, Cleveland on the first half, Cleveland on the game, and then a 2-team ticket casher with Brenner with the Spurs and the Cavaliers, Pistol Pete.
All right.
You're still thinking about that total.
I will go with Atlanta +7.5.
Okay.
I think they'll hang a little bit.
I like it.
So I got 3 picks. Both dogs. I figure one of the probably they split. Probably one dog cashes, one dog doesn't. Okay. But I think that the dogs are both more likely to cash together than the faves are more likely to cash. So all right, I'll take Atlanta +7.5, OKC +8, and under 200.5 in Atlanta, Cleveland, and I'll probably have a second half play on Atlanta, Cleveland, maybe on OKC Spurs as well. All right, 2 interesting games, Mike Brenner. I think we're going to learn a lot for how these 2 games turn out.
I think so too, and I just hope you just keep doing what you're doing because you're producing, you're getting it done.
You too, Mike Brenner.
Hey, that's what we do, baby. That's what we do.
All right, we'll see how this turns out, and we'll be back tomorrow for the Tuesday card.
Go Cavaliers!